You're listening to Hotepish with your host, Dwan B. Intelligent ish talk, intelligent shit talk, where we balance the profound with the profane. Political satire, celebrity and expert guests, information and entertainment, conversation and solutions. Leave your feelings at the door.
What up, y'all? We are here live. Talking shit. Thank y'all for joining me for this surprise show. You know I'm bad at announcing shows. I need to be announcing these. I need to give y'all more warning, but I gotta go when the feeling hit me, you know? I be busy as hell, so like I gotta fit these shows in when I can. I'm over here putting the final stages on my website, breakthroughas.org. It went down on some BS back in the summertime. I didn't pay, what was that, GoDaddy. And I was like, I forgot, I changed accounts and the auto pay went off. And so I didn't pay my GoDaddy and they just took my whole goddamn website down for my company, Breakthrough Advocacy Services. And the same week, Facebook took the damn page down. I had 5-star reviews, parent testimonials, all that. Facebook still was like, nah, we hating. And took my damn company page down because I built it on my backup page. But I built it on my backup Facebook page because Facebook always putting my primary Facebook in jail for saying regular shit. So yeah, I've been going through all that stuff in my company, Breakthrough Advocacy Services. But I'm putting the final touches up. The website is built. I'm just filling in the information and editing it, making sure it's spelled correctly and all that stuff. And it'll be up. And my book will be out too pretty soon. And so I'm just getting that. My book is done. It's finished. I am just getting all the grammatical errors and shit checked out. Because I was raised in the Los Angeles Unified School District, public school system. And I'll be putting commas and periods in the wrong place. So I got to get that book edited. And when I get it edited, then yeah. When it gets edited, it's going to be here for y'all. No Time to Waste is what it's called. Oh, and on top of that, with the book No Time to Waste, I'm thinking about doing, let me know how you guys feel. Let me know how y'all feel. But I'm thinking about doing like an e-course on the book too, like a group. I want to do like a group with the on the book because it's a motivational book. It's a really short book, but it's not a book. It's one of those books that you want to read over and over and over again. Oh, this is from last show. Let me take this shit down. It's a book you want to read over and over and over again because, it's like it's a reader. It's a daily guide. It's one of those things where, when it comes to motivating yourself, when it comes to getting off your ass and doing shit, it's a reminder book that you want to keep around you. So this is the cover. I'm gonna have that for you real soon. Like I said, when I'm done with the edits and all that shit. What y'all talking about in the chat room? What's up, Tasha? What's up, Sebastian? Jordan, Poppin', what up? What up? Hit the like button and share, please. What's up, 3J? Yeah, thank y'all for joining the chat room. South Carolina and North Carolina in the building. That's what's up, the Carolinas. I've been out to the Carolinas. I remember right before 9/11 hit. It's like back in 2001, like August or like July 2001. Right before that fucking Twin Tower shit happened. That was my last time flying before 9/11. People, for y'all old enough, flying used to be real fun before 9/11, before that Patriot Act. I remember I had an 11:55 p.m. flight, red-eye, to North Carolina, Durham, because I was going to Rocky Mount in Goldsboro to play the drums for some church shit that was out there in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. I got to the airport at 11:30 for a flight that left at 11:55 and got on the plane with 10 minutes to spare. That's how it used to be before that damn Patriot Act. You can get to the airport 30 minutes before your flight and be on your seat well in enough time to leave. Went to Rocky Mount, North Carolina. That place was small. I'd never go back to that place again unless they pay me. God damn, that place was small. I like the city, man. I'm a city boy. Yeah, and it's funny too. I felt familiar when I was in Rocky Mountain. I found out way later, my family back in the 1800s lived up in Northampton, Virginia, which is on that North Carolina, Virginia border. New Orleans in this bitch. What's up, New Orleans? Me and the wife was gonna go to New Orleans. We saw some cheap ass flights, but I saw Bourbon Street was for the most part still shut down and bars was closed. I ain't going to New Orleans without Bourbon Street being open. I love New Orleans. I was out there for Essence Fest like 5 times. I did All-Star Weekend in New Orleans. That shit was fun. Tennessee rock with me. That's what's up. I want to go to Tennessee. I had a layover in Memphis once. That's the most I've done in Tennessee. I had a layover in Memphis for like 2 hours. Had some of that barbecue. That shit was dope. I appreciate you tapping that for David. We're going to talk today about this fraud-ass Black Lives Matter organizations. I've done shows on BLM before, but today it was a new article that was released today that made me be like, all right, let's talk about these hoe-ass motherfuckers again. Because I don't like BLM. After Trayvon Martin was murdered and George Zimmerman got off, he started seeing these on the news out of nowhere. He started hearing this Black Lives Matter slogan. And then out of nowhere, you started seeing like t-shirts everywhere. And I was with it because I was caught up in the emotion, like a lot of us. You know, when things initially happen, you tend to get caught up in emotion. That's why it's good not to be emotional. At the time, I didn't understand white supremacy as well as I do now, because at the time I was just getting to learn who Neely Fuller was and Dr. Wellesley. Like, I heard about them, but I was just getting to learn who they was at the time of the murder of Trayvon Martin. So I was very emotional about that. Thank God I found out who Neely Fuller was, and got to listen to him talk about the system of white supremacy, how it works, how it operates, and how to counter that with a code. After, listening to Neely Fuller and Dr. Welsing, I learned to not be as emotional about racism. And I got to learn to really see it for what it is, a chess game. So Black Lives Matter comes around, and the first thing that kind of raised my antennas was the fact that they had t-shirts like all over the country, like the day after it was first mentioned on the news. And I was thinking, hell, black people, we creative. A nigga create a t-shirt real fast. Y'all know me. I'll think of some shit and have that t-shirt on my website tomorrow. But in 2012, 2013, things like Printful weren't around for you to do things like that. You still had to go to t-shirt makers to get, if it was like a local regular person, you had to go to your local regular t-shirt person to get t-shirts made. So if a local regular ass nigga comes up with Black Lives Matter in a slogan, they may be able to get some t-shirts printed for their city, for their area, for their block. But black people don't have the distribution means to get t-shirts and merchandise and flags printed up nationwide in just one weekend. When you see that massive of an effort, that should let you know that there's big money behind whatever it is you're looking at. No matter who the faces are you see on the TV. Because remember, all we see is the pawns. We don't see the chess masters. We only see the pawns. Like, how did they get all these t-shirts, flags distributed across the country overnight? Second of all, how do they get so much news access? In order to get access on national white media, you have to either be somebody that's like hella famous and interesting, or you got to know somebody. Who are these motherfuckers I never heard of at the time? It was a dude named D-Ray McKesson. And I was like, who is this Eddie Kane from the Five Heartbeats looking nigga with a blue vest on the news every day? Where did he come from? And then you start seeing all these different people on the news talking about Black Lives Matter. You started seeing the black feminist crowd. Y'all know the ones I'm talking about. It's no disrespect, but we know who we talking about when we talk about the black feminist crowd. She usually got a nose ring, an afro. She usually wears got a goddamn poncho and some damn fatigue pants and Timberland boots. Y'all know the kind of chick I'm talking about. We all know it. I ain't the news. Those extra feminist chicks walk around with their fists in the air, but they hate their own daddies. Them. I ain't talking about the ones who had good relationships with the fathers. I ain't talking about the ones who have had who get along well with the men in their lives and love their sons. I'm talking about the ones that can't stand any black man in their circle because the black men in their circle have done them wrong. So when they see Black Lives Matter, that's a chance to get some attention because outside of that Black Lives Matter rally, they ain't never gonna get no fucking attention. Angry and bitter. And the other people you see at Black Lives Matter, these dudes look like they've been neglected by their fathers. You can't tell if they men or women. Like which one are you today, homie? Like I know, I'm not disrespecting, I'm not judging, but hey, I don't want to misgender you. You look like your name is Ralph. Like this cat right here. Is that a man or a woman? I don't know. But it kind of looks like this dude look like a mixture. How he look like? What's that dude name that played the guitar? I'm drawing a blank. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Y'all know who I'm talking about. What's that dude name? So many tears are crying. Lenny Kravitz. This cat right here look like Lenny Kravitz and Lisa Bonet together. You look more like Lenny Kravitz and Lisa Bonet kid than they kid. What is this? This is what you. This is the kind of confusion you see at Black Lives Matter rallies. Y'all know what I'm talking about. She got the afro, but she look like she hate every nigga in her life. No disrespect. But look, but this is a Black Lives Matter rally. You see the white women back there? These are the kind of white people. They're like, when they're not at the Black Lives Matter rally, they'll go home and see your black kids selling candy on the street corner and call the police and say, that nigga stole a Mercedes. Like, Black Lives Matter rallies are like, they look like just a hodgepodge of weirdos. That's why you never see me at them motherfuckers, man. You ain't never gonna see me at no goddamn Black Lives Matter rally. They be having all kinds of LGBTQ flags out there. They be talking about trans lives matter. They be goddamn twerking. They be having like Black Lives Matter rallies are like just a big ass submission rally. That's what they are. It's like, I submit. Because look, first of all, one reason why I don't fuck with Black Lives Matter is what does that mean? Yeah, like, it only matters if it matters to you. You can't convince someone else that you matter. It's a plea. Look at this. I'm not a threat. But it looks like your breath is, homie. You ain't gonna get nowhere with this shit. Black Lives Matter is controlled opposition. That's what I came to. That was the conclusion I drew when I saw the fact that they get to get all these weird ass niggas on TV, on MSNBC, on CNN to talk about Black Lives Matter, and then switch the conversation to LGBTQ, to immigration, to all these other things. That's maybe like, okay, like Nene Fuller says, the most intelligent form of propaganda. No. Nene Fuller talks about controlled opposition, but Noam Chomsky said the most intelligent form of propaganda is controlled opposition. That's when you put something out there as if it's opposing what the threat is, but it's really a friend of that. Because they talk about what the problem is, and then switch the narrative to change all the momentum from said threat. That's what Black Lives Matter is. I did a full breakdown on Black Lives Matter like last year, around like December. Not December, like around like June and July last year. Go look it up. It was called the LGBTQ Trojan Horse. I think that was the title of the show. Look that one up. Because if you go back and watch that show, I'm not going to go too much into this part. I'm going to a different part of it now because we're about to go into the money that's Black Lives Matter. But on that show, I broke down how Black Lives Matter is a front organization for a Democratic donor thing called Act Blue. Act Blue is basically a Democratic donor fund. They use different social issues to get money back to the Democrats. So if you want to know the overall umbrella of how Black Lives Matter donations work, go back and watch my video I did, I think it was like last June or last May, sometime 2020, sometime around there, I did a full breakdown with receipts, with articles, with all that good shit on what Black Lives Matter is. So please, please, please do that. Okay, what y'all talking about in the chat room before I go up in here? Somebody said broke bucket parade. Yeah. If I might have to take a little, like a 2-minute break a little bit later on in the show because I'm getting a delivery from FedEx. Y'all know how that go. Y'all know how it is when the delivery says it's gonna be here around 2:30, but y'all know how that shit go. Every time you think it's gonna be one time, the deliveries come right when you get in the middle of some shit. So if I take like a 1 or 2 minute break, it's gonna be because I got to sign for my packages. I got some drum equipment coming. Because I will be back in the studio next Sunday recording more live drum sample packs that will be coming available to you soon. But like how it is, whatever you do, whatever craft you do, you got to invest in it. So yeah, I just dumped a fuck ton of money back into my drums. So when I do these sample packs, they're going to sound right for y'all. We got 136 people in here, 68 likes. Like this video, share this hoe. Subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Because we are about to go in to this new article that came out yesterday morning on Black Lives Matter donations and where them hoes is going. What's up, Omad? What's up, Larks Reed? What's up, Get It Girl? India Tretch? Latoya? Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all for joining the chat. But yeah, I did a whole breakdown on Act Blue and the fraud shit that they're about. So go back and watch that video. But today, let me go and share my screen. Look at what we have here. Excuse all the targeted ads on the side. This is from Daily Mail. Y'all see the targeted ads because, yeah, I've been spending a lot of time buying shit for the drums. So you see the ads. Y'all see that drum rack right there? That right there, that's what I just ordered. That's what's coming in my mail today. Right there, that drum rack. Hell yeah, I can't wait to get my shit in the mail. Have my shit set up right. This right here, this drum rack right here is what's coming in the mail. That pearl 3-sided drum rack. And that right there, that Yamaha drum set, that's a drum set I'm looking at buying next for the studio. That shit costs like $4,500 though. But I need that drum set because it sounds so goddamn good. $4,500. Donate, niggas. Get me closer. Now, I don't want y'all to donate for that. I'm sending y'all these drum sample packs. Don't donate shit for my drums. Buy my sample packs when they come out. That'll get me closer to my drum set. All right, here we go. BLM group raked in $90 million in donations last year. Leaders disclosed finances for the first time, but angry local chapters say they are not being given any of the money. First off, I think that $90 million is a low ball. If they say they raked in 90, they probably raked in 200. But the rest of that shit went to costs. Usually cost means private jets, 6-star hotels, $20,000 luncheons. That's usually what entails costs. The house and mortgage that is paying for the front and leaders of the organizations. I'm not going to read the whole article because it's long as hell. But I will jump to highlights, and I encourage you to read it. It is from, like I said, from the dailymail.uk. Oftentimes, you got to get good American news from overseas because America don't like telling on Americans. But the British like acting like they not racist, so the British be the main ones. Oh, look at those dirty Americans. That was a terrible ass accent, Dwan. Ooh, my accent was horrible. That shit was sorry. That is a terrible. Let me just my British accent. That is that America is terrible. My British accent sucks, boy. Dwan, don't ever do a British accent again. That shit was terrible. God damn, my British accent sucks. I thought it was better than that. Shit. That did not sound good coming out my mouth. I promise y'all, I'll never do a British accent again. That shit's horrible. But we will scan this article. Like I said, this is from the dailymail.uk. Y'all see the title. Look it up yourself. Published February 23rd, 2021. Let's see here. What y'all talking about here in the chat room? I ain't talking about shit. Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation has revealed its finances for the first time, noting that the group raked in $90 million in donations last year. So, what is this article basically talking about? It's talking about the money that was brought in. Talking about how like they made a fuck ton of money after George Floyd's death. Let me see here. The foundation said it committed $21 million in grant funding to official Black Lives Matter chapters. So basically what this article is talking about, when you read it in totality, the complaint isn't about Black Lives Matter raising this money and giving it to the people. The complaint is these local chapter front organizations ain't been getting broke off. The national organization's been raking in all that money through Act Blue, through the media, through all that shit, but they ain't really been sharing the money with the local thieves. So the local thieves are mad at the national thieves for not splitting the heist. And before I even get into it, where are all these people that always want to criticize black people for hustling the community? You know, usually when you see a black person that makes a lot of money off primarily working with and dealing with black people, you notice you have a whole bunch of niggas that come out of nowhere saying that person is hustling the community. Then you get something like a Black Lives Matter organization that come in, make all this money, ain't spread shit to nobody else, and no one's talking about them hustling the community. Something to think about, right? Last year, the foundation's expenses were approximately $8.4 million. That includes staffing. It's talking about funding dollars from corporations, from charities, from high-profile individuals. It's talking about how they've been basically raising money since Trayvon Martin. This whole thing is talking about money here, money there, money everywhere. More money after the death of Michael Brown. You notice they keep raising their money off when black people get killed, specifically black men. And you got people like this. Anytime you see a chick that look like that with them ugly ass glasses on, you know she got problems and she hate niggas. She look like one of them chicks that cannot. She looks like that 7th grade English teacher every black man had, that she couldn't stand you and you didn't know why. You walk into the class late and she looking at you and she go ahead and she would give you goddamn detention for walking in class 2 minutes late and turn their head when other people did shit. Every nigga had that kind of teacher. And they look like her. Every black man has had that teacher that you walk in that class, and it don't matter what you do. You do your homework. You turn your homework on. You turn your homework in on time, and she the one saying, I'm deducting points because you put the wrong date on the paper. She looked like that chick. We all had that teacher. Look at this. Out of all this money, all I see is, look, New Black New Media Advocacy Hub. Have you ever heard of a Black Media Advocacy Hub? Have they donated money to Jason Black? Have they donated money to Fly Nubian Queen? Subnetta TV? It's a lot of black people doing online media. Have you ever heard of them saying thank you to this company getting money from Black Lives Matter? And look at this. The person that's over this shit, Opal Tometi, she's the former executive and director of the Black Alliance for Just Immigration. The fuck black people got to do with immigration? My family was enslaved on this land back in the 1850s. God damn it. Fuck immigration got to do with me? Look at here. More money. More money to more grants to spun off his network sister grassroots chapter became eligible for finances in the $12 million grant. Again, more money to chapters. You're getting money to organizations. Nowhere in this article do I see any money going specifically to black Americans affected by racism, white supremacy. Look at this. Raising money, receiving donations from Beyonce and Jay-Z. Even Prince gave money to these motherfuckers. I'm sure if Prince was still alive, he would see through the bullshit by now. But I get it, back in 2016, not seeing through it. A lot of people didn't see through it back then. They had us caught up in emotions. Look at this. Just scan this article. Nowhere in this article do you see any of this money going to black people, men or women, black men or women or children. What about the kids? Like all these black people killed by white supremacy, affected by white supremacy. You raise over $90 million. Why are basketball players having to pay for these funerals? Steven Jackson played for George Floyd's funeral. Stack Jack. Tariq Nasheed played for Tamir Rice's funeral. BLM ain't even paying for these people's funerals. But they're coming in, raking in all the cash. And now what you see here is a fight between all the criminals and thieves fighting over how their heist is going to get split. Meanwhile, you got these people running around here, and the minute a black person, or a black man specifically, makes money with the black community, oh, he's a fraud, or something's wrong with him. But they announce all these weird looking chicks that don't know nigga want out there on TV to scream Black Lives Matter, bring in the money, and they don't spread shit with black people. And then when they do spread the money, it's for minorities, it's for people of color, it's for immigrants. The fuck people of color got to do with Trayvon Martin? It was the people of color that killed him. George Zimmerman was quote unquote a people of color. What about people of color on people of color crime? Appreciate you, Paul, for the Cash App donations. I appreciate that. Quincy, I appreciate you also for the Cash App donations. Thank you, my brothers. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So what we see here, we see a pattern of behavior. Black person gets harmed, killed by white supremacy. White-run organization with black faces runs out, says, I'm sorry, little Negroes and niggers, I hear you. Now give me some money so I can help. White-run organization takes the money. Black people who are at the front of the organization say, hey, where's my cash? I helped you raise it. Okay, here, little nigger, here's 2 cents on the dollar. Take this shit and shut the fuck up. They use these dumbass coons to come out there in front, siphon money from the black community in the name of black people, don't share the name of the money with black people, and gives the money to groups hostile to black people. Immigrants don't fuck with black people. Immigrants are told not to fuck with the black people, right? Immigrants be the main one. When you go to America, don't fuck with the niggas. That's what the Africans say. The Chinese say, choing, 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 don't fuck with the niggas. The Russians say, Yusha, Rusha, 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 don't fuck with the niggas. The Italians say, la pizza, la pizza, la pizza, don't fuck with the niggas. The Irish say, I'm Irish. We were slaves too, my friend. Don't fuck with the niggas. Everybody, when they come to this country, say, don't fuck with the niggas. The Arabs be like, yuck, 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 yuck. Don't fuck with the niggas. Yuck, yuck. But we got to share our resources. We got to share the money raised off of the direct targeted killing of us with these other groups that don't fuck with us. We got to call Black Lives Matter out. Black people need to delegitimize Black Lives Matter. We need to delegitimize Black Lives Matter the way we delegitimize Umar Johnson. Katt saw Umar was raising that money and the school still ain't being built. Katt was like, hey, and I don't have no personal issues with Umar, but hey, the school ain't here yet. It's still the truth. So what do people do? Hey man, we calling you out. And that's put a dent in what he does. We're really good at calling out black people who take from black people and don't produce. But we don't do that with white people. We don't do that with them. They the biggest hustlers on the planet. They always come in hustling us, man. Hustling us for our plight. The guy, Susan B. Anthony, sorry ass. Dirty bitch. Sally Struthers. Going over to Africa. Eating talking something for 2 cents a day, you can feed a whole village. Remember the commercials? And she would walk around eating the food. I'd be like, Sally, hold on. Ain't this for the kids? Ain't this for the Africans? And you eating their food. Hungry bitch. Kids had flies on their eyes. Too weak to blink. Sending that negative propaganda about Africans over here to us. Taking the money. Never saying, well, why don't this have, question Sally Struthers, why don't this village have food to eat? They was fine before your white ass came. Oh, you poisoned the water about 30 miles up the river. So they couldn't drink. Oh, so they got sick. Oh, you killed off all the game that they naturally hunted. You killed it off. So now they don't get the game that they hunt. Oh, you poisoned the dirt. So they can't grow crops. Haiti, the people in Haiti, They're not eating. Why not? Oh, they forget to tell you that in 1915, when McKinley was president, when he marched down to Haiti, when he went into their central bank and stole all their gold reserves and put them up in Chase and J.P. Morgan Bank in New York, they also killed the rice patches. So now Haiti can't grow any of its rice in Haiti. It has to buy its rice from Louisiana. Oh, they didn't tell you that. They just tell you these Haitians are hungry. Oh, they didn't tell you that these hungry ass Africans, that they show you they're hungry because the government gave you white folks the land, and now y'all using that land to grow coffee beans. But on the coffee beans, you're saying this is Colombian roast. No, this shit ain't from Colombia. This shit's from Ethiopia. That's where all the fucking most of the world's coffee comes from. But then they'll tell you it comes from Venezuela or Colombia. And the local people who used to need that land to feed themselves can no longer feed themselves. So here comes Sally Struthers saying for $2 a day, you can feed these hungry motherfuckers. Appreciate the Cash App donation, Deep Impressions. Thank you. And thank you for modding the room. Doing a dope job modding that room, brother. I appreciate it. They don't tell you that they poisoned everything up and gave these people a situation to where they couldn't feed themselves. Then the white folks come along as saviors of the day, and they get the money and they take it, put it in their pocket, and don't nobody say shit. But you want to question the Nation of Islam. And I'm not even a Muslim. Hell, I'd rather give the money. Like these churches don't be doing shit. That's another place that don't be doing shit with the money. A lot of these churches. But I still rather see a church get the money than Black Lives Matter. At least there's a chance the church will do it. At least the church is gonna fry some chicken up for the repast when Ray Ray gets shot. Black Lives Matter ain't doing that. That Black Lives Matter ain't even paying for the chicken at the repast. At least the church is gonna give you some free fried chicken at the repast, nigga. Black Lives Matter is gonna give you a sign. Yeah, I forgot about that's right. China sent that Haiti that plastic rice about 6 years ago. They probably still doing it. They probably still doing it. You right, saying they killed the buffalo off in the Midwest, and they want to say these Indians are hungry. Nigga, you literally killed off their food supply to build fucking trains. No. Umar is better. He's better than Black Lives Matter. Hell, at least with Umar's hustle, he give you some information and some actionable information that you can use. My company, Breakthrough Advocacy Services, started out because between Umar, Dr. Welsing, and Brother Cabo, I think it's Hidden Colors 1 or 2, they were talking about the school system. And I was already at my job. I had been working in the school system for about 3 or 4 years before I saw that. And I kept seeing all these black kids get put into special ed. And I thought I was going crazy. Because I'm these kids' counselor. I get to meet with these kids every day. And I'm seeing these little black boys are the smartest kids in the room. But they kept getting put in special ed. It wasn't until I saw Hidden Colors and I saw Umar and Dr. Welsing's part that I was like, oh shit. I'm not going crazy. These niggas are seeing the same shit that I've been seeing. And I never met this nigga, Umar. But he's saying what I see every day at work. At least Umar gave some information that's very actionable. It's information you can do something with. You know what I mean? At least that. I'm not, I donated to his school at first, when I first heard about it. 2015, I gave it a few dollars. I see now that, he be on some BS. But he's still better than Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter they don't even give a word. Matter of fact, Black Lives Matter, the reason why they're far, far more dangerous is because when they do talk, they fund organizations that are hostile to black people. That's what makes them so dangerous. They use our plight to put money into groups that adversely affect us. Immigration adversely affects us. When you put in these LGBTQ rights, using the civil rights that our grandparents fought for, that adversely affects us. Immigration rights, all that shit adversely affects. When you go around, you see black men getting killed left and right, but everybody you see on TV is talking about black women, black women, black women, black women. That adversely affects us. Because it pays and it puts money into these divide and conquer strategies that further perpetuates division within our society. Umar Johnson is not dividing a society. Umar Johnson is taking money from people who, by now, if they still giving him money, deserve it. This is still the truth. I can understand donate to Umar pre-2017, pre-2018, but now if you still giving money to Umar, then that's literally on you, whatever. But he's not adversely affecting a group of people. What he's doing, he's not dividing a community. He just takes your money, then he goes on Instagram and he gets unhinged about every 2 or 3 months. Y'all saw the last video, Umar? You got to wreck the cookies. Nigga, what the fuck is you talking about, Umar? Get your single desperate ass out of here, nigga. And then the one before that, he had the little pharaoh headdress on, and was talking about he's like a descendant of Ramses or some shit. He was told by a spiritualist. Come on, brother. Come on, brother Umar. And I went to go see that nigga a couple times. Back like in 2015 when he had come to LA, I would go see the motherfucker. But after my second time seeing him, he gave my second time I saw him, he gave the same speeches he gave the first time I saw him. And that's when I was like, why you get the same speech? Like you said that same thing last year. Like you don't even remember? That's when I started to see through the shit. Black Lives Matter raises money for the Democrats, period. And the Democrats are our enemy. Let me say that again. The Democrats are foundational Black American, Native Black American, descendants of slavery, DOS, Black people who can trace their lineage to slavery here in the United States. The Democrats are against us. The Democrats write laws to harm us specifically. The Democrats write laws to prop up other groups that negatively view Black Americans and give them funding and special protection. It was the Democrats that said illegal aliens their cars can't be impounded or repossessed here in California. Now, if you're Black and you get caught slipping, they can repossess your car. But if you're in this country illegally, it's a hardship. And you got to get special protection. That's what the Democrats said here in California. The Democrats said, okay, if you're Black and you got put on child support, you know what I mean? Because you lost your job and you couldn't pay for that year and a half because you couldn't work. Oh, the Democrats said we could take your license, your passport, and then we could also use that against you. So when you finally do get a job, the job sees, hold on, you're in the rears, 10 grand on child support. You're a moral hazard. We can't hire you. They can do that to you if you're Black. But if you're an illegal, you get to get a driver's license. You get to get insurance. And you get to travel freely between here and your home country. You get a special exception. It's the Democrats here in California that in 2020 signed a bill giving $15 million to gender reassignment surgery. $15 million in the first year. So you know that $15 million in about 5 years is going to be $500 million. In 10 years, it's going to be $1 billion for white men to get their dicks cut off and get a pussy hole drilled in. That's the Democrats. It's Democrat places run places that don't want to charge these other groups of hate crimes against black people. But if a black person sneezes on an Asian, it's a hate crime. That's what makes Black Lives Matter so dangerous. They give money to the people who are killing us. The Democrats don't stop black men and black women from getting killed. Corinne Gaines in D.C. was in a Democrat area when she got killed. Tamir Rice. These people, these be Democrat-run cities. Philando Castile, Democrat mayor, Democrat governor. Up in Minnesota, like the same people, literally the same people killing us are the same people that create a rally and make money off us getting killed. You ever think about that? And Umar ain't killing nobody. That nigga get crazy every now and again, but he ain't killing nobody. These crackers will kill us. And then pick up a sign, raise money off who they just killed, leave the taxpayers to pay the settlement fee for the victims. So the taxpayers pay twice. They pay for that cop's salary and they pay for the settlement. And Black Lives Matter takes the money and they use that money to put behind another Democrat, Lori Lightfoot in Chicago. I swear, man, Lori Lightfoot looked like Gary Coleman with bags around her eyes. They take the money raised off the killing of black people and they put it behind somebody like Lori Lightfoot, who then gets in office and turns a blind eye to cops and citizens killing black people. It's a never-ending, perpetuating cycle that funds itself. It's literally a never-ending cycle that literally funds itself. It's a self-funding organism based off of black plight. And as you see here with this article, the fight isn't over. This fight isn't over the money coming to black people. This fight is money over all of the thieves and thugs that got together who stole the money from the black community, over how it's being split. Sounds a lot like feminism, don't it? Sounds a lot like feminism. White feminism, to be specific. You don't give a fuck about patriarchy, white women, and people who are feminists. Why? How do I know that? Because the mother is the first teacher of the child. You can stop racism, white supremacy. You can stop all this negativity that you feminists want in one generation just by properly raising the men. One, properly choosing a mate. Because at the end of the day, niggas want to fuck everything. Men are going to try to fuck everything walking. And I understand ladies, wanting to get your groove on. I ain't trying to say nothing against it. But you do want to watch who busted you raw. Stop letting these crazy motherfuckers give you babies. And then when you get the baby, feminists, especially you white feminists, raise a little motherfucker with some respect and accountability. White women raise their children, their little white boys, to be white men, and they know exactly what that means. That little white boy grow up and says, "Fuck you, mom." Takes 99% of the heist, gives you 1%. Now you mad. So now we got to recruit black women to be feminists. Not because we want to end white supremacy. Not because we want to change the behavior of white men. No. So we can get more money off of what we stole from you niggas. We just want a larger cut. That's all feminism is, specifically white feminism. That's all Black Lives Matter is, and that's all this sorry ass fight is that they're going back and forth over right now. They're not saying end white supremacy. They're not putting money behind people who speak out against white supremacy. They're not funding. If Black Lives Matter wanted to end white supremacy, why wouldn't they basically fund Neely Fuller and make Neely Fuller's book mandatory school literature? You see Black Lives Matter saying LGBTQ history has to be put into the schools. If they cared about Black lives, why aren't they putting Neely Fuller's book in the schools? If you care about ending white supremacy, wouldn't you do that? Huh? If black women rocked, if you really cared about black women, and you cared about ending white supremacy, as you say, why wouldn't you put money behind Dr. Welsing's book, The ISIS Papers, and make the ISIS Papers mandatory reading in school? If you cared about black women and ending white supremacy, huh? Why don't you put money behind, put money up on one of these Black Lives Matter commercials? Record Scheherazade Ali and let that shit play on a TV commercial. If you care about black lives. That shit would be funny as hell too if they put Scheherazade Ali out there. I love Scheherazade Ali. Anybody know her, reach out to her. I'd love to interview Scheherazade Ali. That would be a dream of mine, to interview Scheherazade Ali. If they truly cared about black people, why aren't they pushing for Dr. Carl Anderson's books to be mandatory reading by the 7th grade? Huh? Oh Lord! Somebody said, no. If you call Neely Fuller a weirdo, that means you're a weirdo. Straight up. Neely Fuller is straightforward, direct, very open, very honest, very clear. If you think that's weird, the fuck is wrong with you? Salute to Neely Fuller for making it very plain, very clear what racism is, how it works, how it operates, and how to counter racism with a code of conduct. Salute to Neely Fuller Jr. If you care about solutions to the system of white supremacy racism, you listen to Neely Fuller. He tells you the truth. Salute to Bobby Hemmett. Hell yeah, I love Bobby Hemmett. I love Bobby Hemmett. I don't like donating to things and organizations that separate black men and black women. I get it, they're necessary, and if you're one of those people who want to donate to something like that, that's cool too. But black man, woman, and child, we're in this shit together. We're in this shit together. We either gonna come out this shit together or we gonna go down together. But either way it go, we are in this shit together. Black man, woman, child. We all three need to be strong. All three. If I donate to something that's centered on coding and black children, I'm going to donate to a program that has coding in black children. Black girls or boys can go. Either one, as long as they black. It's the only requirement. I'm not cool with the gender divide that these sorry ass Democrats have been pushing on our community for the last 20 years. I'm not cool with it at all. But if you are, that's cool. I can't tell other people what to do with their finances and with their money. That's not my style. One thing about me here at this channel, I don't tell you what to do, people. I don't believe in telling people what to do. I have a strong faith and love in black people, man. My point of view has always been black people aren't stupid. Black people are just misinformed. And it's my job, because I'm one of them niggas, I just like bringing information. I like reading information. So since I like reading information and I like talking, I see it as my job to talk about the information that I consume. Because when black people know better, black people do better. I don't tell y'all what to do. I don't believe in telling people what to do. I just believe in pointing to the direction of where the information is. Asking that you read that information and then that you do something with that information for the best way you know how. One thing we got to get off of as black people is that whole Messiah complex. That's that shit that's taught to us through religion. Somebody's coming to save us. One person has all the ideas. I like this person over that person. This isn't about people. This is about you reaching your highest self. Your highest self. This is about you being the best person that you can be. So informing you about white supremacy and racism, all this is just informing about where the pitfalls may lie. Oh, there's a pothole there, there's a pothole here. But white supremacy can't stop you. Nigga, you too dope. Everybody listening. You're too fucking dope for white supremacy to stop anything. You're too dope for all these things that they're trying to do to us to permanently harm us. Yeah, these are roadblocks that we have to face. But we got the strength. We have the wherewithal. We have the knowledge. We have the ability to overcome all of it. But don't follow nobody. But please do listen to ideas. I may say some dope shit that you love that you can use. I may say some shit that you don't agree with. If you don't agree with what I say, that's fine. Somebody else on that particular area that you disagree with me on may speak to you a little better. You have to follow your own gut, your own decisions, your own mind. You got to make your own decisions and follow your own mind. Everybody ain't going to say everything right. There are going to be certain things that I say that some of y'all who really fuck with me, y'all really like me. Yeah, but there's certain things I'm going to say, I promise, that you are going to vehemently disagree with. To your core, you're going to be like, Dwan, I rock with you, but I don't agree with you right there. Guess what? That's fine. You know what that means? It just means you're using your own mind. And you using your own mind is no threat to me. Let me say that one more time. You using your own mind, you standing firm in what you believe is no threat to me or what I believe. People tend to think because one thing is true, something else isn't. Look, multiple things can be true at the same time. You can be in Los Angeles, California right now, in the city of LA, your mail says LA, You're in the LA zip code 90200 something, and on the side of town you're on, it could be 75 degrees, and someone else who's in this same city of Los Angeles right now, and the side of town they're on could be 68. Literally, if you're close to the beach right now, it's probably 68, 66 degrees. If you're close to downtown, it's probably 75, 76 degrees. But you'll get people who will argue, man, I was in LA Wednesday, February 24th. It was 68 degrees. And then somebody else who's in LA be like, no, nigga, you wrong. Fuck you. I was in LA. It was 75 degrees. And you niggas is arguing. But based on your location, you both were right. Think about that. So a lot of these dumbass arguments happen. They are differences in perception. And niggas want to argue over how one person perceives something versus you got to go with it how you see it. If you believe that Black Lives Matter is an A-OK organization, that they do nothing wrong, if you firmly believe that they help black people the best way they can, if you believe immigration helps black people, if you believe all black people should go along and get along and unite with all these other immigrant groups and twerk in the streets at Black Lives Matter, that's fine. I'm not going to argue with you. Go do that over there. But me being an observant person, I've come to my conclusions on Black Lives Matter after they came around, 2012, 2013? It's been 7 or 8 years I've been looking at them very closely. If you look at some of my old tweets, some of my old Facebook posts, if you go back to 2014, I was tweeting hashtag Black Lives Matter. From my point of view then, they were an A-OK organization. But when new information came out that they did not and could not refute, it made me change my opinion. A lot of people who believe Black Lives Matter is A-OK, most of them are people who are unaware of the information about where their money is going. And there are other people who are totally aware of where the money is going, and they're fine with that. They're like, still, I love the organization. Okay, I'm like, all right, cool. That means you probably have a different political outlook than I do. You have at the end of the day, have different political desires. Again, no reason to argue with that person, but go over there with your political desires. Go have a fun and fancy-free time with how you see it. But when you come over here to me as a black man and you look like a fucking weirdo and I can't tell what sex you are, and you want to tell me Black Lives Matter, give me some money, and I see you not spreading that money with black men and women who are on who aren't on weirdo shit, they just regular ass people, you're not spreading them the money. No. Now I see that. No. Me and you different. We way different. Get your different ass away from me. Because we're not fighting for the same thing. If I'm playing basketball and I'm on Team Black, my goal is to get teammates on the court that wants to defeat Team White. Because Team White is the team that we playing against on the court right now. 5-on-5 basketball. You wearing my jersey. You want to get checked into the game, but when you check into the game, you want to argue and fight with people on the sidelines, in the stands. You trying to start, you over here talking shit about the people in the audience. How can I win a basketball game if the team I'm playing against, those 5 guys are focused on beating me, here you are checked into the game, you on the court, and instead of doing your best to defeat the 5 players that we against, you arguing with the popcorn person. Because the popcorn person said they don't like your shoes. My shoes matter. Fuck the popcorn person. We in the game, bitch. Let's beat these people on the court. But no, you're not worried about the people on the court kicking your ass. You worried about the person on the 10th row who misgendered you. How can I win the game if that's the situation? How can I win the game if the people wearing my uniform, supposedly on the court with me on my side, are too busy running their mouth and arguing with the people who are in the stands? No. If I'm in a game against these 5 players, I need all 5 guys on the court that want to defeat the team that we're playing against. Now we all can do it different. That's nothing. We all need to come together and do it the same way. No, you're not going to do it the same way. It's a beautiful thing that Martin Luther King and Malcolm X had different approaches. Fire and ice. Malcolm X came with the fire, so the opponent said that fire a little bit too hot. Let me go ahead and listen to the nigga talking about ice. It's good to have a multifaceted approach. You playing basketball, you need a center who's going to collect rebounds, defend the paint, set good screens. You need a point guard who's going to distribute the ball well. They may not be the best scorer, but they'll hit the open shot when necessary and get the ball to the people who will score best. You need a shooting guard who can get his own shot, not reliant on the offense. On the system to get a shot. He can break the defender down himself and get the shot. You need a small forward who can set good screens, get his own shot, operate from the mid post, hit the open wing jumper. You need a power forward who can spread the court on the pick and pop. You need somebody to come off the bench who does different things. Basketball, sports, it's just an analogy of how life is run. You need different people with different skill sets. The only thing that they need to share is a common goal to win the game. That's all they need to share. Because if they have a common goal to win the game, they're going to use their best attributes to win that game. The reason why Dwight Howard's career ended up not being as great as it could have been because Dwight Howard didn't know who he was on the basketball court. Dwight Howard wanted to be Shaq, but he was more like Rodman. He wanted to be Wilt, but he was more like Russell. Dwight Howard's game was setting good screens, catching lobs, rebounding, basically getting his points in a very scrappy manner. He could have averaged 28 and 14 if he did it that way. But no, Dwight Howard wanted to be Shaq. He wanted to be somebody you throw the ball into, back to the basket, but he didn't have the footwork, nor did he have the hands. He didn't have the attributes to be Shaq. But he did have the attributes to be Bill Russell, who's still a Hall of Famer. He didn't know who he was. So since he didn't know who he was, he didn't embrace who he was, and he was trying to do what other people did great and neglected his greatness. And that's why, although he was a good player, he didn't turn out to be as great as he could have been because he never knew who he was as a player. Analogy for you niggas that watch sports. If you're one of the ladies who don't watch sports, I'm sorry. I just felt a basketball analogy. I'll use a different analogy next time. But I just felt like using a sports analogy because I'm a former basketball coach. You get people and you put them into the positions that they excel. Diversity and differences in approach is a beautiful thing. We as black people got to understand that and respect that. We got to stop expecting everybody to be like that one person that we like. Sound like these NBA fans. If they're not Michael Jordan, they're not good. Michael Jordan was one style of play. That was great for his era. The game evolved. There are other great forms of greatness. Michael Jordan's greatness is no greater than Shaq's greatness. It's no greater than Kareem's greatness. It's no greater than Magic's greatness. They all had different forms of greatness. But you listen to these niggas talk sport now. No, it's only that one. I like Michael Jordan because he was great the last time I had a good hairline and I wasn't on child support. That's basically what you niggas be saying. These not, oh man, you Gen X and you older millennials and younger Gen X niggas, y'all can't let Michael Jordan go because Michael Jordan reminds you of the last time you got hoes and you didn't owe anybody child support. Michael Jordan take you niggas back to the last time you was fly, back in 1994. Let's just tell the truth. That's why you always talking about Jordan. Nigga, last time when Jordan hit that shot against Brian Russell, that was the last time your hairline was crisp. He was great, man. I'm not taking his greatness away, but a lot of these niggas is great. No different than leaders. Stokely Carmichael was great. Bunchy Carter was great. Fred Hampton was great. Ida B. Wells was great. It ain't a fight because they all had the same goal. That was the liberation of the black nation. They just took their own route to making that liberation happen. When we talking about Black Lives Matter ain't about the liberation of the black nation. Black Lives Matter is about putting money in their own pockets and giving that money back to Democrats. That's what they about. That's why they're an enemy. They put on our uniform. But why do they put our uniform on? They put our uniform on to help our opponent. That's why they do that. They put on our uniform to help us lose the game. LeBron James is his own set of greatness. You're right about that. LeBron James, he's great. I'm not a LeBron. I see the LeBron shit. So, yeah, LeBron, on one hand, LeBron is great. But, yeah, you went and teamed with Dwayne Wade in Dwayne Wade's city during Dwayne Wade's prime, and you brought Chris Bosh. Yeah, you couldn't win until you went. A lot of you niggas is too young to understand, but in 2006, 2007, they was trying to say Dwayne Wade was better than Kobe. Now to me, he was never better than Kobe, but when you look at Kobe, Michael Jordan, Dwayne Wade, they're all within a quarter inch of each other. If Kobe and Dwayne Wade played each other 7 times, I think Kobe will, in a one-on-one, that Kobe will win 4 out of 6. He will win 4-6. If Dwayne Wade played Jordan, that shit would go 7 games. I tell you that. If Dwayne Wade played Michael Jordan, that game would go that would be a 7 games one-on-one series. I guarantee you that. I ain't gonna tell you who will win, but it would go 7 games. Dwayne Wade was that great. You go over there and you still lose to the Mavericks, LeBron James, because he was afraid to shoot 2 shots in the 4th quarter. Scared nigga. Did the same shit with my Lakers the other night. Lakers down 2 points, 4 seconds left. This nigga LeBron had an open lane to the basket and he passed to Alex Caruso. Brick. And then look at Caruso. No, nigga, look at you. And then yesterday's game, this nigga did take the shot, made it. Thank you, LeBron, you made the game. Now, 9 seconds left, tie game. You on a free throw line by yourself and you miss that motherfucker. Nigga, missed the free throw for game. Kobe never missed a game-winning free throw in his career. Look it up. Kobe missed some free throws earlier with maybe 40 seconds left in the fourth quarter. But when it came time to win the game, in 20 years playing, Kobe never missed a single free throw when it came time to win the game. Hell, Shaq was a terrible free throw shooter, but when it was game-winning time, Shaq made his free throws when it was time to win. Shaq could go 0 for 20 from the line. But if it's 30 seconds left and he got fouled, Lakers down 1, Shaq got 1 free throw, Shaq's making that fucking free throw. LeBron, on the other hand, I guess it depends on the day. But he's still great. But look it, LeBron's greatness comes at the cost of Kevin Durant's. Kevin Durant been murdering that boy LeBron for the last 5 years. When it came time to win the game, this nigga Kevin Durant was wetting this nigga LeBron's eyeballs. When it came time to win the game, LeBron James, when Kevin Durant was on him, was passing. But he's still great. He's still great in his own way. But I digress. Rachel Dolezal changed her name? And what y'all talking about in the chat room? Oh, you see what Herschel Walker said? Yeah, I saw Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker is someone who the whites... Herschel Walker's Black Lives Matter. He's controlled opposition. Same shit. Hell yeah, us niggas love us some sports. I love sports. Only problem is black people, we get irresponsible with sports. I don't watch sports as I used to. Like I said, I used to have a sports talk show when back when Blog Talk Radio was around. It was me, Larry Goodwell, and Ryan Hollins. I had a sports show. And I stopped talking sports on my show because I got tired of grown-ass men. I got tired of grown-ass men who are too in love with these athletes. I got tired of black men calling me talking about their love for LeBron James. I got tired of black men calling me talking about how much they hate LeBron James. And either way it went, I was like, it's too much emotional energy invested in this shit. I got tired of these grown-ass men who can tell me a player's stats. I used to see this shit when I coached basketball. When I used to coach, I would have these motherfuckers, I would coach their kids. They can tell me LeBron stats, but they can't tell me how much their own fucking son had in last week's tournament. That's why I stopped coaching basketball, and that's why I stopped talking basketball. Black people, especially black men, we're too irresponsible with sports. Sports is a good thing, but damn, niggas is irresponsible with sports. Like, it takes on way too serious of a tone. Sports takes up way too much mental equity. I knew it was bad for me. That's why I started like quoting history more. I remember when I was like I was the same way in my 20s. In my 20s, I'm like, okay, why is it that I can tell you all the Magic stats? I can name the year. I can literally name to you the year any team won the NBA championships. Like, if I can name all this stuff off the top of my head, why can't I name more historical facts about my people? Why can't I understand and name my ancestors more and what my personal ancestors did? If I can use this skill to remember sports, something that at the end of the day, it's cool, but it has no impact on my personal life. What would be if I use this skill on things that do affect my personal life? That's why I stopped fucking with sports. It kind of got hard. Like, niggas just got too weird with sports, man. When I used to talk sports all the time, we would talk, did you see that player dunk on this player? Did you see that player shake that nigga's ankles? It would be something like, okay, one of the athletic guys did some athletic god shit that normal human beings can't do. Did you see Dominique Wilkins dunk on that nigga? Did you see Vince Carter jump from the free throw line? And nowadays it's, LeBron is such a good father. Oh, I don't like Carmelo Anthony because he has an attitude with his coaches. Oh, I don't like James Harden because he dribbles too much. You niggas sound like straight up sissies. And that's with zero disrespect to the gay community. I'm not gonna even cloud. This ain't about them. This is about you niggas that claim straight. You niggas claim straight, married, got kids, or claim to be smacked. Oh God, I get all the pussy. Blah, blah. You the niggas I'm talking about. Claim straight, but the minute you talk basketball, oh, but LeBron is such a good father. Nigga, I don't give a fuck. Nigga, come on. When I go buy a car, I don't go to the salesman that took his kids to school on time every day. I go to the nigga that's gonna give me a deal. I don't watch sports because some nigga's a good husband. That's between him and his girl. I watch sports so you can hit the game-winning shot. So I can go on the internet and talk shit saying my Lakers won again. Ha, 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 ha. That's why I watch sports. For some fun shit. You got niggas watching sports now pulling out analytics. How you gonna pull out analytics and you never took a statistics class, nigga? Don't know the difference between average, mean, mode. Nigga, you've failed introductory math and you want to talk to me about shooting percentages. You can't even calculate a percentage. You got motherfuckers who can't turn the fractions. They can't convert fractions into decimals talking about stats. If you don't sit your clown ass down, that's why I stopped talking sports. I got tired of niggas. I got tired of cats who couldn't convert 6 out of 10 to .60, telling me about free throw shooting percentages. If you don't sit your hoe ass down, nigga, and pick up a book, you're right, Zen Master. Dennis Rodman was a fucking freak. We did not care. We'd be like, Dennis Rodman wore a dress yesterday? For real? Hey, yo, but that nigga did have 23 rebounds. Did you see that screen Dennis Rodman set on Karl Malone, knocked him on his ass? Dope. That's what the conversation used to be. The conversation used to be, dog, did you see the way Kobe shook Sean Marion and took that nigga's ankles? Ooh. The conversation used to be, man, that nigga Stephon Marbury. Ooh. I like Damon Stoudemire, but ooh, that nigga Stephon Marbury. That nigga, did you see that step back from 30 feet that he rained in that nigga's eye? Ooh. That used to be basketball talk. Now it's, oh, James Harden, he's so selfish. Oh my God, I don't like him because James Harden, he doesn't get his teammates involved enough. I don't like him. I don't like Oh no, I don't like Chris Paul because he screams at his teammates. He needs to be more of a leader like LeBron James. Oh, look at LeBron. Oh, did you see LeBron hug his teammates? Oh, did you see? LeBron James is such a good father. And he had a triple-double. Oh, LeBron James had a triple-double. But they lost. I don't care what did his teammates do. They must not have given him a hug. If they gave LeBron James a hug, maybe he would have taken the final shot. But he felt so lonely because he's LeBron James. You weird ass niggas. That's why I stopped fucking with sports. I got tired of them kind of niggas tuning into me every day. No, I'm good. I only want to talk to people who gonna build. I want to talk to people who are about something. It's okay to like sports, but the minute you turn the game off, get back to building a greater society for you, your family, your parents, your children, your cousins, your friends, your associations, yourself. I'm cool with people like that. That's the kind of people that we got in the chat room right now. We can talk a little shit, swallow some spit, but when we done with that, we're going right back to constructive conversation. We're going to be constructive. These niggas ain't constructive anymore. These niggas is weird. Oh my God, Luka Doncic. Oh, he's the greatest. Oh, he's the greatest second-year player ever. Well, he had the same stat line as Trae Young. And Trae Young didn't play pro ball in Europe. He came straight from college and he's like 6 inches shorter. Luka had 34. Trae Young had 38. What about Trae Young? I don't care. He's not a media darling. But, ooh, Luka did it. Oh, all hell be to the white boy who does the things that the niggas do every night. But he's white. Oh, my God. I must praise him because he's white. Luka Doncic fans are the same niggas that put Eminem in their top 5. You got Eminem in your top 5, but you ain't put an Eminem album in rotation since 2002. And that one Eminem album you do put in is all beats done by Dre, and they got Nate Dogg hooks. Oh, but Eminem is the greatest MC ever. He's top 5. You gotta put him there. You got to. You got to. What other white person can freestyle like that? Yeah. I'm not interested in appealing to that mindset. When that mindset evolves, then it can come over to my channel. Again, that's why I say I don't argue with people, man. I don't go back and forth with people. To each his own. Everybody got their own right to do it how they see fit. I'm not mad at these whole ass BLM people for trying. They can try all they want. It's on us to call the shit out. That's all. That means it's just on us to call it out. That's all. They can do it. We can respond. See how that works? What's up, Star? What's up, Lovelace? You're right, Ms. Master. Luka's maxed out already. This is how the NBA works. Luka's going to work out the same way Kevin Love did. Same way Mike Miller did. Same way Manu Ginobili did. These white boys come in the league, and no denying Luka's dopeness. Luka he has a dumbed down version of James Harden game, and he does it well. He has a slower, less skilled version of James Harden's game, and he does it pretty well. But in the NBA, you get a 2 or 3 year run. By that third year, the NBA defense has figured you out. And if you're not constantly evolving and adding to your game, you're done. The NBA couldn't figure out how to stop Manu Ginobili from going left. 2003, 4, 5, 6, 7. Manu Ginobili, he's only went left. But he had very crafty, creative ways to get back left. He start right, and then he Euro step left, or he do that move where he go heavy to the right. The minute he sees your weight shift, he go behind the back, get to his left. He had to go heavy to the right, spin move to the left. And for the Manu Ginobili's first 4 years, the Spurs won 2 championships in the first 4 years, and you could not stop this motherfucker from getting to his left. But by 2008, that's when Kobe figured that shit out in the Lakers. And they stopped Ginobili from going left. That forced Greg Popovich to bring in Manu Ginobili off the bench. Because every nigga who was good enough to start in the NBA figured this bullshit out. So he had to bring Manu in as 6th man so he could do that shit against the bench players. Because although the bench players were good, saw what was going on, they weren't quite good enough to stop what he was doing. Kevin Love used to get 50 and 20 nightly. After about 3 or 4 years, NBA defenses figured it out, and he had no other level to get to. Same shit's gonna happen to Luka. He has to step back. He has the up and under. And defense is already starting to figure it out now. Like, he's winning against them bad teams, but when he plays against good teams, he ain't getting that shit off now. So it's going to really be all bad for him in 2 seasons. Remember Kristaps Porzingis when he was with the Knicks? He was the great right hype. Now Porzingis is just another 7-foot center who can shoot. That shit's coming to Luka too. King DG Simpson, everybody building but us. No, don't say that. We're building too. We just building the shit getting knocked down. Don't compare. You can't compare us to other groups in a lot of ways like that, brother. I hear what you're saying. It does have the appearance that everyone is building but us, but we still build. We still build. We still build. We're never not building. Just remember, the black people who are building, they're never going to give a spotlight to. They're only going to give a spotlight to the black people who are perpetuating white supremacy. Those are the ones who get featured. The black people building for black people, they don't get featured on the news. They don't get headline articles. So don't lose hope, brother. We still building. We still building. We still dope. We still dope as a people. They knock it down, we build again. Manu did have a dog in him, Magnetic. He did. Manu did have a dog. I'll give Manu that. Manu Ginobili had that dog in him. You cannot, that motherfucker was going to fight till the end. Yes, Manu had that dog in him. Although defenses figured him out, he went to the bench. But when it came time to win, that motherfucker Manu, yeah, he had that dog. I got to give Ginobili credit for that. That motherfucker was cold when it was late in games. He was clutch. Yes, he was. Let me see here. This nigga said, one punchline said, somebody just finished a prune juice. Zen Master, Adrian Broner is a legend in his own mind. Man, Adrian Broner was a shit in his prime. But he looked like he lost it. And the last fight he had, I think Broner's more, I think that it looks, based on Adrian Broner's last couple fights, in the last fight, he had a 2-year layoff and he came back. The fight was supposed to be at 140. He couldn't make it, so they changed the weight to 147. And so he came in at 146. And Adrian Broner didn't look good, so it's one of two things. Either he was hella rusty, either he's back committed to boxing, he just was hella rusty after 2 years, or he partied his best years away and he can't get it back. It looks as if it's the latter. I hope it's not, because boxing needs Adrian the problem Broner. I like Adrian Broner, man. But he don't look good, man. He looked like he partied all of his gifts away. What's up, Ali Hemmett? No, Danny Kim, I do not follow MMA. And the reason I don't follow MMA is they have a fucking move called a ground and pound. I ain't about. Oh shit, the sound was out. My bad. Thank y'all. The motherfucking sound was out. God damn, I lost like a bunch of people. Like 40 people left the chat room. My sound was out. My bad. Damn, I forgot what I was saying. Adrian Broner. This nigga, there we go. Yeah, now when I switch scenes, I had this scene on mute. Damn, my bad. My bad. Shouts out to the 40 people who left the room when that happened. My bad. But yeah. Now the internet bill is fine. I have a program called Ecamm. They have different scenes. And in some of the scenes you flip to, the audio was muted. So when I flip to this scene with my products and merchandise, my microphone was muted. Because usually I have this scene up on my intro when I'm coming in, and I like the shit muted because I'll be back here burping and farting and shit before the show starts. Coughing, making noise, getting my voice and everything right, and I don't want you niggas hearing that. So this scene is usually muted. But get the merchandise, get the apparel, get the cups, get the glasses, get the hoodie. Hotepish.com/apparel. My other website, breakthroughas.org, is just gotten rebuilt. I'm spending my time redoing it. I gotta finish filling in the information. But yeah, I was talking about, I don't watch, that's what I was talking about. I don't watch MMA. Because I am not fucking with no ground and pound. Shit. You got grown-ass men in rear-naked chokeholds. That's not fighting to me. That's a homosexual love dispute. You let that other nigga give it to you in the ass, I'm gonna ground and pound you. That's what the fuck MMA is. Ugh. I like boxing. I like motherfuckers with they putting their hands up and having distance between them and the person that they fighting. I don't want to see two grown-ass men loving on each other. No. 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 I'm rebuilding my website, Breakthrough Advocacy Services. Look at this. Let me see. It's not all the way up yet. Like I'm not finished with filling in the information. But you see info at breakthroughas.org. I'm gonna have my online classes that's coming for y'all pretty soon. I'm gonna have an online workshop for my new book, my motivation guidebook, where we're gonna break this down. That's gonna come not too expensive. I have a range of products, virtual classes, virtual webinars, also personal one-on-one coaching for relationships. I'm not gonna keep this picture up. This is just a little stock photo. I'm not gonna have this corny ass photo up on my website. I'm just showing you the layout of the website. All that, yeah. I'm taking them weird ass photos out. I'm getting my FAQ page together. What's a relationship? What's my consultation? Online classes. So get ready for the website, for the relaunch of my company website, breakthroughas.org. Relationship coaching, mentoring, motivational speaking. That's the other thing that I do. I do a whole lot of shit. Y'all know me. I cannot just do one thing. I get bored doing one thing. Speak on Chris Webber's dispensary deal. Good for him, but in that deal, that shit says minorities. It ain't for black people. I'm tired of shit having a black name on the title, but then when you read it, all these other groups that don't fuck with black people get the money. He said, MMA is real gay, dog. And there's no disrespect to gay people. But I allow them to do their bedroom activities with me not watching. I got respect for what they do because they do it in the privacy of their own home. I'm not about turning two grown-ass men on. Their hands looking like that Black Lives Matter fist with them little ass gloves, and they pinching each other's nipples while breathing in his ear. And while you got him in a rear naked chokehold, you got a grown ass man that's breathing in another man's ear, pinching the other man's nipples with his Johnson on old boy's ass, and they both in 1 millimeter thick tights. No. I am good. At least boxing, they got baggy ass shorts on. Yeah, look, no, they be pinching each other's nipples. That's what they do in MMA. They be nipple pinching. Get that shit out of here. You can't pinch somebody's nipples in boxing. You got gloves on. MMA gloves leave the fingers open. Like they have gloves on around the knuckles, But they leave them niggas' fingers open so they can pinch other men's nipples. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. But I gotta get up out of here because I gotta finish this website. My web guy is gonna be with me on Thursday doing the finishing. On Friday doing the finishing touches, and I ain't even really got started on what I want to put up in this motherfucker. So I got to finish my website, and I gotta finish my preface and opening for my book. Like I told you, my book is done. It's done. I've written the book. I'm just in that editing phase of it now. I'm in that phase of it where I gotta, get it right. I gotta get it right and tight. Because, if I don't, you niggas gonna be clowning. No time to waste. A self-motivation guidebook. How a nigga like me can juggle so many things and still have time to be a great husband to my wife. Gotta be self-motivated. So the book is a guidebook. It's helping you out, showing you how some of the tips and tricks I use on being self-motivated. The book is going to be available sometime in the next 2 weeks on my website. It's going to be available on this same website right here. I'm going to put a button somewhere over here. We see that tab where it says books? That's where this book is going to be available when it's available. On this website, breakthroughas.org, Communication Solutions. Books right there in the middle. You're going to click on that, and it's going to take you to this e-reader. You're going to download it, and then my tab right there where it says online classes, I am going to offer an online class on breaking down that book, answering your questions. That's going to be one of my cheaper webinars. It's not going to be that expensive. It's going to be real cheap. It's going to be real cheap. It's going to be other webinars, classes that's going to be a little more pricey, but that's when I get into like real deep information that I had to spend a lot of money on to get. But this one right here, my introductory webinar, it ain't going to be that bad. It ain't going to be that bad. My name is Dwan B. Remember this. Let me see. Somebody said boxers get eaten alive in MMA for the simple fact they don't ground and pound. Good. Okay. Who wants to, no. Ground and pound, no. I'm not doing that. No. MMA fighters get eaten alive by 9mm for trying to ground and pound other men. That's what they got shotguns for. You ain't no goddamn ground and pound. Fuck out of here. No. Look, no, nothing is going to change my whole outlook on boxing. Nothing is. Boxing is my second favorite sport behind basketball, including its corruption. I know how corrupt boxing is. I know all that shit behind it. Thank you, Guru. Thank you. Mic drop. Last comment I'm going to put up for the day. I'd rather box. I ain't trying to have no man dick in my back. Facts. Facts. If I'm working out, you're not going to have no balls in my spine. No. You're not going to have my elbow on your nutsack while you're trying to put me in an arm bar. No. But like I said before, don't donate if you want to help black people out. BLM, Black Lives Matter, they're not the move. They're a phony fraud organization. They take our money to put money behind people that don't fuck with us, organizations that don't fuck with us. They don't fuck with us. So leave them the fuck alone. If you're about the progress of black people. Now, if you're about the progress of LGBTQ immigration rights, then go ahead, donate to Black Lives Matter. That's your political point of view. That's your political aspirations. Just be true to you. If you true to that shit, if you think LGBTQ rights and immigrant rights are more important than black rights, then by all means, do what you do. I'm just here to bring truth to what it is. I'm tired of black faces being put on the program for the money to go to anything other than black faces. So I hope for those of you who tuned in, who, were cool with Black Lives Matter and you really thought your donations to Black Lives Matter and your Black Lives Matter sign on your grass, if you truly, truly in your heart had intentions on helping Black lives, and now you see that, you're helping, but you're not helping black people when you donate to them and pay for them. And if now you're clear, so you can now choose. Are you going to continue to donate to Black Lives Matter? Are you going to continue to say their slogan? Or are you going to find somewhere else that you could donate to that actually helps black lives? Me personally, I love the Harvest Institute from Dr. Claude Anderson. I personally like donating to him. There are other places that I like to donate to that directly affect black people. Most of that stuff is local places that I see with my own eyes here in my city of Los Angeles, California. So I encourage you to find places that do things for children in your local city, or do things for the black family or for black people in your town. Donate to them, volunteer for them, go right to the grassroots. Because when you put money behind places like Black Lives Matter, you're probably funding your oppression. And you're probably funding your enemy. Who are you niggas over here talking about wrestling? I used to watch wrestling back in the 80s when I was a kid, nigga. I watched it a little bit in high school when the Rock and Stone Cold was hot in high school. I ain't sat down and watched no goddamn wrestling. That shit weird too. I watched no goddamn wrestling. That was some kid shit, and I knew it was fake. But wasn't nothing funnier than when the Rock would come out and clown. When the Rock got on the mic, that was the funniest shit ever. Stone Cold Steve Austin. And when I was a kid, the Macho Man and the $1 Million Man, that was my shit as a kid. I ain't watched no goddamn wrestling, and as a man in my damn near 40 years old, I'm good. But I still like wrestling more than MMA. I'll tell you that. My name is Dwan B. Remember this, there are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages for those who are willing to pick up game. My name is Dwan, we out.